It was started by the British when the Fort Jesus was opened to the public in 1960 by the Queen Elizabeth. Because Queen Elizabeth, she opened the Fort Jesus to the public in 1960. So we are heading to the starting point. So from here you can see very well the plan of the Fort Jesus. It was taken photo from the aerial view, and the way I told you, the shape of the fort it was found is like a Jesus on the cross. Thus you can see the head, the two arms, the body and the feet. And that's why many people they ask why it was called Fort Jesus. You know, when the Portuguese they came here, African we used to worship nature. There is no religion, just nature. So the Portuguese they came, that time there is no Suez Canal. So the Portuguese, they came all the way from the Cape of Good Hope, and they were going by the sign of the cross to spread Christianity, because they came in the name of Jesus. But when the Portuguese, they came here, there is no government, there is no borders. It was just one Africa, just only tribes. So the Portuguese, they look it's a better place for them to settle, and that's why they build their village, which is Old Town. Although Portuguese village is not big, and many people they think maybe Old Town it was started by the Arab, but not Arab. The Portuguese they built their settlement, which is the part of the Old Town, and also they built the port, which is called now MOMBASA Old Port in the Old Town. So when you are walking to the Old Town, you see the Portuguese port, because that time they were coming by the sea. There is no planes. And 1593, because Portuguese they were under Spanish, that's why the King Philip II of Spain, that's why he gave Portuguese permission to build this fort as a military base. That's why you can see a lot of cannons. And the way I told you, 40% of this fort it was cut from the coral. So the Portuguese they used the African slaves to build the fort, and the whole fort is 2.5 acres. But the work of the whole fort they done for 3 years, but there were 4,000 slaves. And that's why the Portuguese, because they came in the name of Jesus, that's why they shaped the fort like a Jesus on the cross, and that's why the name Fort Jesus it became. Although architect of this fort he was Italian, the design of this fort he was Italian. His name he was called Battista Cairati. But the way you see this plan of the fort how it is, now we enter through here. This plan it's opposite, because the fort is lying like this. So the part of the head is that part. The head is facing the sea. That's called gun platform. Gun platform, it was a 4-strong cannon which was given nickname Smash, because Portuguese they just protect the sea, because they used to know the enemies they have to come through the sea. That is called gun platform. So we enter to the right arm, the left arm is the other side. That's the left arm, and the body and the feet at the back. Although the main war here it was between Oman Arabs and the Portuguese, because you see, before the Portuguese to come here, the Oman Arabs they were coming for trade. They were traders, and their main trade was ivory, slaves, and spices. But Oman Arabs they didn't settle; they just come and go. So when the Portuguese they settled here, that's why it became a very big conflict between Oman Arabs and the Portuguese. Because why? The Portuguese, the Oman Arabs, they look Portuguese, they settled here, so they can't continue for their trade, and that's why the Sultanate of Oman, 1698. That's why they sent the Arabs to come fight Portuguese to conquer this fort, the year 1698. Up now, Fort Jesus is 430 years from 1593. But we'll see how the Oman Arabs conquer the fort, because the Omanis, they came and they put Portuguese under siege for 2 years and 9 months. So the Portuguese, they starved to death inside the fort because of hunger. That's why the Oman Arabs, they won the Portuguese. Yeah. So from here, we are going to start to see a lot of inside the Fort Jesus, and it's amazing. Hope everyone will enjoy about the history of this fort.